Hello my friends and welcome. I have a special video for you today, a short brief video describing how I go through and design my wreaths. I will show you step by step how I designed the last wreath that I posted, which is my tri-color bubble fall wreath. Let's go ahead and get started. Now where I start when I design my wreath is usually with my focal point, and that's usually a sign. Sometimes it's ribbon if I do a large bow and I want that to be my focal point, but usually it is some form of three-dimensional element or a sign, and today it's a sign. I did pick this up from Dollar Tree this year in their fall section. I love fall most of all. And I really found this sign intriguing. I like the muted tones, and I pick up a lot of non-traditional colors with this sign. So this is my focal point. Next I choose my form that I'm going to use, and because this sign is so large, I'm going to go with an 18-inch wreath form. Now if I put the sign in the center, it fits nicely in the center of an 18-inch wreath form. Let me show you the difference between an 18-inch and a 14-inch. Now this is a 14-inch wreath form, and you see when I take the sign and then place it over that, it almost consumes the whole wreath form. I only have the kind of outer two bars that really show, the rest is covered up. So if I was to add 6-inch mesh to this, I'm only going to see a very small amount of the mesh all the way around. To me, the sign will look far too large for this wreath form. So my choice for this size of sign is to use an 18-inch wreath form. So now that we have our structure together, our main sign and our base that we're going to be working with, next I want to work on the mesh that I'm going to use and what colors. Now when I look at the sign, I love that the colors are muted, so that gives me some leeway. I like the orange, but I'm going to use that as my accent color. I don't want to use that in my base. I want to use that in more of my elements. So I'm going to focus on some of the other colors. Now I like this darker green, and this lighter green gives me the feeling of silver or gray. And then I also kind of like this color along with the raffia bow and this other accent. So those are kind of the colors I honed in on. So I pulled this green. It comes out of the fall section from Dollar Tree. And then I also pulled this gray. This comes out of the Christmas section. And then I also pulled this color. This also comes out of the Christmas section. But I'm keeping my base kind of neutral. These are also muted colors as the sign. And as you can see, the green already pulls out the green. The gray kind of hints at this color. And this is a beautiful neutral accent that hits just a little bit here and there in the sign. So these are going to be beautiful, used together to do the base. Now that we have our colors chosen for our base and they complement our sign, the next thing that you want to think about is what method that you're going to use. To determine what method you want to use for your base will determine how much embellishments and ribbon you want to add to your base. I'm going to be adding a lot of ribbon throughout the whole base, as well as some pumpkins. So you're not going to see a whole lot of my base. So I want to keep this very simple. So doing the poof method or the bubble method are the two that I would choose. They go quickly, they fill your base, and they allow you to put a lot of other embellishments on. If you're looking to do something a little bit more decorative because maybe you just want to put a bow and a few pumpkins, then you're going to want to go with something that's a little bit more detailed for your base because you're going to be seeing a lot more of it. So then you would want to pick something maybe like the curl method, the cruffle method, the folded ruffle method, my rosebud method. Any of those will give you a very detailed and textured base. And then if you add multiple colors to that as well, you're going to have a very interesting base that's going to complement your sign. And then you can get away with just putting a bow and a few pumpkins on it because the eye will still be carried around the wreath because you have such a distinctive base. Now that I have my full base, next I want to go to my ribbon and what I'm going to use to help bring out the colors here and to accent my base colors. Now orange is one of the colors I really want to pull out because I didn't use it in the base. So I have a solid roll of the orange faux burlap that you can get at Dollar Tree, and also this beautiful neutral ribbon. It has just basically yellows and browns and golds in it. So that's going to accent the sign nicely. And then to accent each of those ribbons, I pulled this out from Dollar Tree as well. I really like those colors, and it does have some orange, so that will help accent the orange. And then for this one, because it's so busy, I decided to go with just the neutral burlap. But you can see those two go good together. These two do go good together, and so do these. Because these two ribbon are the ones I want to stand out the most, I'm going to split them up and then accent them with the other two ribbon. Next, we want to work on any embellishments that we want to add to our wreath. So I pulled out, I have 2 packages in the orange and 2 packages in the green. These are Dollar Tree's muted pumpkin clips. You get 3 per package. Because this is an 18-inch wreath form and it has 8 sections, I need at least 8 pumpkins. That's why I have 2 of each. I may need more than that, but I'm estimating 1 pumpkin per section as an embellishment. And as you can see, those muted pumpkins work very well with the colors here on the sign. So everything complements each other. You have your main focal point, you have your base colors that support that, you have your ribbon that complements your focal point, as well as your embellishments. Now this doesn't mean that you have to stick to this as you're creating. You may change gears. I often do. Now, of course, you don't have to stick to this plan, but it's always good to have a full plan set up before you start your wreath. As I create, sometimes the ideas that I have in mind don't work out, and that's okay. You can switch in the middle, but this way you have a plan, you know what you're going to do, and it makes it much easier for you to get started and to finish that craft. So remember, when you're designing your wreath, first you need to pick your focal point, then you need to pick your base and your mesh. The mesh should complement your focal point. And then you need to finish your wreath by adding more embellishments that support your focal point. And in this wreath, I've done that with ribbon and with pumpkins. Well, I hope this video helped you and showed you step by step on how to pull together a beautiful wreath for yourself. Find your focal point and pull elements, ribbon, and base that accentuate your focal point. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and show some love in the comments. This really does help support my channel. If you would like to see the finished product of this wreath, you can click into the full tutorial right here. Thanks so much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure. Have a great day, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.